Here at Dalton High School with the turf field behind us, Catamount springtime football. My name is Rick Zeise with Coach Matt Land, head coach of the Catamounts. Last fall, we ended on a good note. Wanted to play a couple more games, but hopefully the seniors during spring, the rising seniors, are going to get to the task, and that's going to be a goal for the Dalton High School Catamount football team.
Absolutely. You know, each year we start out with the same goal in mind. We want to win the state championship. It was that same goal when I think Coach Anderson was here and Coach Chappell, and we've carried on that tradition here to just continue to think about what does it take to be a champion. Catamounts are champions in the classroom, champions in the arts, and obviously champions in athletics. And so just excited about the opportunity to start with a new group of seniors, new group of players, be the largest team we've ever had. So it's going to be an exciting year, and it's been an exciting spring.
How has spring practice been going?
Well, it always starts, unfortunately, with a few injuries, but we've not had any injuries that we don't feel like potentially might keep us out for next year. So we hope that we can rehab just about everybody that has been injured. Outside of that, everything's been good. We've had high numbers. We've got 97 varsity players out. We'll have close to 45 freshmen next year. So somewhere in the neighborhood, about 150 kids next year will be Catamount. So we're excited about that. That gives us a lot of depth. We do have some concerns, as all teams do. You've got to replace one of the better quarterbacks, at least in my 25 years that I've been here, in Peyton Veraldi. Just a phenomenal leader on the field, phenomenal leader off the field. Got a lot of yards there. We're going to have to replace between he and Kelvis Rhodes. But we've got a good core, a good nucleus coming back. Coach Napier will talk a little bit more about that later. But just a really, really good group of guys. We've got to find 5 offensive linemen. And if you ask me what's my greatest fear or my greatest challenge for this fall has been finding those right five guys. And I think that'll carry on up into the summer.
Now, one thing people think, okay, we've got football in the fall, and then we've got a couple in the spring, couple weeks, but year-round conditioning and getting the folks ready, that is a full-time job, not only for the student-athletes, but also the coaches as well.
No doubt. I mean, the coaches, we spend really just a lot of time reviewing film from last year, reviewing film of opponents that we'll be facing this year. We also go back and do a lot of evaluating of some of our young kids. We spend a lot of time watching some of the middle school films, looking at the freshmen that are coming up. So, and then you add to that, you start going to clinics, you go to universities, you go visit with staffs. And so there's a grand preparation that goes on, and it's not just showing up and tackling and blocking. We'd like to think that's what it is, but you really have to spend a lot of time, and I can't credit our staff enough. These guys have worked very diligently, and we feel like we're putting together. It really doesn't come together until you start putting, as Coach Chappell used to say, the Jimmies and the Joes in place of the X's and the O's. They all look good on the board, but when you start finding out what somebody can really do. So that's what we're in the process of doing right now, and as I said, that'll carry on up into the summer.
Mentioned a few injuries here in the spring, which sadly is expected. One thing that is very important, I know, nationally with the NFL as well as college and the high school level is safety, and I know that you're being very proactive on that.
We are. The GHSA has introduced some new rules this year that were handed down from the National Federation High School offices, which has to do with how we will be practicing next year. There's going to be a limit as far as the amount of full contact you can do per day, and a limit of the number of contact sessions you can have during the week. And all of this is obviously garnered toward trying to protect the student-athlete. And I think that, to me, as a head coach, that presents a large challenge for us, because the only way that I know to get someone ready for contact is with contact. So there's still a great debate that's going on with it, but Coach Bennett will elaborate a little bit about some of the things that we've kind of carried on and brought forth, and as far as helmet reconditioning, things like that. So we feel like when we put our kids on the field, they're not only going to be some of the hardest worked kids, but they'll be the best prepared in their equipment as well as their preparation for the game plan.
Now, you mentioned the offensive line. What are we looking like on defense?
Well, defense, the good thing that we have with our defense right now is we do have a lot of returning starters coming back or people that play. On defense, we play about 18 to 19 players per game. So while we may not have but only about 7 starters coming back, what we do have is a group of guys that have played a lot of reps. So right now, the big thing that we've got to look for is we need to continue to build some depth in our secondary. And we still need to continue to build some depth in our linebackers, because that's 2 of our injuries have happened on defense. So with that being the case, you really look at that and you think, well, that's who Dalton is. I mean, we're defense before anything else. So that's been the big thing, just looking for depth in our defense, trying to find a few more linebackers, a few more secondary guys.
I know the kids are excited as they're finishing up and things are getting together. And I know the next thing, camp, I guess, will be the next big ticket item that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, this will be a very eventful summer. We're going to start out with a 7-on-7 camp at the University of Georgia. We'll finish up with a shell camp that we'll have going on here in June. We'll take Dead Week off, and then we'll have obviously the big Southeastern 7-on-7 that happens with the paper every year, and that's a great opportunity for us to kind of measure ourselves in the passing phase. Obviously you're not running the ball, but you get an idea of defensively how you feel about yourself. And then it'll culminate. We'll do camp again here on campus as we did last year. We just feel like right now our facilities are probably better than most of the facilities of the campuses that we've gone to, with our new turf field that we have here, obviously with our indoor facility and our weight room, and then having the advantage of the classrooms, being able to watch film and break it down. So we'll do camp here, and then August the 13th, it's scrimmage with Northwest at Harmon, and 21st we start with Scottsboro here at Harmon Field.
Sounds great, Coach. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I know we'll talk to you at the end of this program. You're watching Catamount Football Spring Show. We're talking with assistant head coach Jim Bennett, who not only works with the defense, but you work with the safety equipment as well now, too.
Yes, I'm in charge of all the equipment, helmets, shoulder pads, all the good stuff. So a lot of changes have taken place.
I'm about to say a lot of changes. Coach Land alluded to new rules with the from the National High School Football Association that's going to make difference with practicing, but I bet equipment has changed a lot since you started coaching, even a lot since you've been here at Dalton High.
Been here now. This next season will be my 23rd, and I've been coaching next year will be 40. So, yes, helmets have changed tremendously, and with all the awareness, it's a good thing. I can remember the old suspension helmets when I played, and the kids talk about those, and they said, "You really play in that?" I said, yeah, that's why I'm like I am now. But there's been a tremendous amount of improvement in technology and just materials the helmets are made out of. With the new contact rules and practice regulations, they're doing everything to make this game as safe as they can. So the safety issues, my job is to make sure that helmet fits, and we've got probably 4 different brands of helmets because one size doesn't fit all. So we try to have something in the equipment room, and it's my job to make sure I get the best fit on the kid I can.
I remember, like, when we were in school, it'd be like, here, grab you a helmet and go. Yeah. That is the days of the past.
Yes, it is. And, it's television and ESPN has done that. The kids see the helmets and they see the stuff, and, oh, God, I want something like that guy's got on. And it filters down. And, all the companies have their spokesman. If you look at Peyton Manning, he's a Riddell guy. And he's the cover guy on their catalog, and then Eli Manning is the cover guy on the Shutt catalog. So, it's competition out there, and everybody's saying they've got the better product. and they're all good. You know, the bottom line is what fits your child the best, and that's what we try to do is make sure we got the one that fits the best on there.
And I know that's something you've taken a lot of extra time with developing, make sure your protocols that kids are safe and they get the proper equipment. And I'm sure that you had to hit the textbooks and see what the latest technology and also the latest research showed.
I do my best to keep up with things, and like I said, it's ever changing. But you know, if we make a college visit to go watch somebody else practice, I always go through the equipment room and talk to their guys and see what's going on. And you know, I enjoy doing that. I like to see the changes. And you know, if I can pick up just one little thing that helps us out, then it's been a good day.
Coach Bennett, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it. I know you're excited here in the spring. The kids are too, and I bet they can hardly wait till they get to go to camp and then actual real contact in the fall.
Well, you know, again, with the new rules and contact rules, camp's not what it used to be. So we've adjusted, and some of them were implemented last year, and we thought it worked real well. You know, and the more we educate our kids, the better off they're going to be. And you know, the game changes. We got to change with it if we're going to be successful.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you.
We're talking with defensive coach Scott Thompson, who's also director of athletic performance. A lot of things have changed over the years. Tell us a little bit about what that job entails.
Well, with sports these days, everything is pretty much year-round. You know, you got to stay in shape to compete with the teams we face. We work out almost all year long. We do speed and agility, flexibility, try to prevent injuries for our athletes.
Now, as things have changed over the years, not only with the defenses being a lot more aggressive and the schemes are a lot more complicated, as the offensive schemes on the other side of the ball are continuing, I'm sure that what's being seen on Friday nights a generation ago was only being seen on Saturday afternoons or even Sunday afternoons.
Yes, sir. It's going down to the Atlanta schools in 5A. They're very complex in their offensive schemes, and you know, you got to be on top of your game.
And people think, oh, well, you're the defense. You just have to worry about defense. You probably have to know the offense better than the offensive coordinators, so that way you can counter it.
Yes, sir. We have to do a lot of game planning. Coach Carpenter and Coach Bennett and Lawless do a phenomenal job when we're here on Sundays, and just try to know what they're doing.
How is spring looking so far?
Yes, we're doing. I think it's coming along pretty good. We had some holes to fill, and we've had some underclassmen step up, and we're excited about what we're going to put on the field next fall.
Now, we always thought in years past when conditioning came, oh, you take a weight training class and you do the spring, then you go off to camp, and then you play football. But as you mentioned, year-round, what are some of the things the kids are doing now that maybe they weren't doing a few years ago or even 5 or 10 years back?
Well, we've moved in. We are powerlifting for Olympic lifts. Our football players, right now we have 96 football players in first period weight training. They come in 45 minutes before school starts to start their workout and their speed and agility, their flexibility, and get finished about 20 minutes before class is out first period. They shower. Our nutrition ladies are very nice about holding breakfast for us so they can eat after that. And then, you know, not only do I do football, but I do all sports. And, you know, we have to be on our top of our game. And with the athletes we're competing against through basketball and soccer and softball and baseball, and our athletes do a tremendous job.
Thank you so much. Appreciate talking with you. I know you're excited about the spring. The kids finally getting ready, so that way next fall they are ready. And we mentioned earlier with Coach Land that there were a lot of folks on defense that even though they weren't starters, they got a lot of PT, so they're returning as close to a starter as you could possibly get.
Yes, sir. We've got a lot of people with big-time game experience that are going to fill some holes that are desperately needed.
So we're looking forward. Defense will be at that Catamount level again this fall.
We're
going to work on it.
Dalton is always known for their defense. Let's just say that.
Amen to that, my brother. Good to talk to you, Coach Scott Thompson here at the Spring Catamount Football Program. We're talking with offensive coordinator and living legend. We have Coach Bill Napier with us here. Now, offense always at springtime, obviously not where you're going to be in the third, fourth, even the eighth week in the fall. How are things looking here during spring?
Well, we've certainly progressed a lot during the spring. We've been expecting a lot from our kids and demanding a lot. And it's not all been great. These guys are pretty green up front. We have several talented skill kids, and that's helped a lot. But the emphasis has been to put an offensive line together. And we've had our days. Every day's not been great, but there's no doubt about it. These guys really put a lot into it, and it's important to them. And there's no doubt by the time we get to late August, we're going to have a good offensive line and a good offense.
Big quarterback position. We talked with Coach Land, the onset of this program. That's going to be a big position to fill as well.
It is. I've never had 6 quarterbacks, but this is a good time to have 6. It gives us a lot to choose from. We've got some great kids. One has been injured during spring, so we're playing today in our finale scrimmage with 5, and that'd be plenty.
I was about to say 5. When's the last time
we'll do? Yeah, we'll do 5. I don't know that they've ever had 5. But they're really great kids, and, we're blessed to have these kind of young men in our program, and especially at quarterback.
One thing with the spring coming to an end here, I'm sure it'll be, a juggernaut to getting ready to go to camp. But with the new rule changes that are coming about contact and the amount of time that you can practice, do you think that will have an issue or a problem, or is that going to be faced by everybody and we're all on an equal playing field?
Well, I know Coach Land has been working on that already. I really think that we've already kind of tried to make our spring that way to some degree. Certain days more than others maybe, but we don't have to do that this spring. But that is coming, you're right. And I feel sure that the amount of quality work we get by what we call thud, where we really don't take anybody to the ground, but we collide, I think that that's been really good to us all the years I've been here, and I expect that'll be good this year.
Coach, looking forward to a great scrimmage, great summer, great fall. Thoughts and prayers are with you, my friend, and just glad you're a part of Dalton High School football.
Thank you very much.
We're talking with Jerry Scott, the president of the Dalton Quarterback Club, here at the big spring game. This is something year-round. It's not just in the fall that you need support, and the Quarterback Club helps with the football team.
Oh, sure, Rick. We Quarterback Club tries to do all we can for all the programs and activities in Dalton High School and the Dalton Public School system.
So it's not just Catamount football.
No, it's not. We've tried to contribute to the soccer program, baseball program, volleyball, basketball, because those fans support the football program as well, and we try to in turn help them.
People probably would be astonished about how much money it does take to support the teams, the buses, feed them. We got burgers here behind us for the spring game, but that is a big, huge endeavor that's been going on for generations here in Dalton.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that we're real proud of at Dalton High. We don't charge a player fee for you to play football at Dalton High. All the equipment is paid for by Dalton Public Schools, and the things that are nice to haves like charter buses to the away games, the pregame meals, things of that nature are paid for by the Dalton High Quarterback Club due to the generosity of our many sponsors and supporters.
Are you still looking for sponsors and new supporters? How can folks get involved and help financially?
Of course, we're always looking to keep our old sponsors and to get some new sponsors. You can participate by logging on to DaltonFootball.com. We'll have Quarterback Club membership information for this coming year being posted on it very soon, as well as our corporate sponsor information will be posted on there very soon.
We're talking with Jerry Scott, who is the president of the Dalton High School Quarterback Club. And the one thing I notice is dads of students who are playing, those that have graduated. You've got a ton that never even played football, but they believe in the program and the benefits that Dalton High School Athletics does here in our community, as well as for our sons and daughters.
My son graduated in 2008, and I'm still involved. You can see people around here now that kids have graduated that they're still involved. We've got alumni who don't have kids in the program. We're very, very thankful at Dalton to have so many people involved that don't have kids in the program. And that's a tradition we want to keep going for many years to come.
So if you don't have a child in the program, doesn't mean you can't help, because this definitely benefits the community. One thing we're very proud of is our Dalton High School Athletics. And again, thank you, Jerry, for talking with us today.
Thank you all for being here.
We're now talking with defensive coordinator Kip Carpenter. How's spring been going, Coach?
It's been going well. It's given us the opportunity to kind of work some new guys. We lost some great players off of last year's defense, and being able to put kids around and getting a real good chance to look at them.
Since the late 60s into the 70s, tradition at Dalton is Catamount defense. I know that's got to be weighing on your mind every year. You've got to get to that level, and you've got the kids that step up for that occasion every year.
They do. The kids really do a good job in understanding really playing defense here is really about desire, and our kids really fit that role well.
What are you seeing? I know we've got a big freshman class. Going to talk about them in just a second. But what are we looking at, and has there been any breakout or surprises here during spring for defense?
Really, depth has emerged. We've got some great athletes now that kind of matured physically that are ready to play.
Let's talk about the freshmen. We've got a huge number of freshmen wanting to play football this fall.
We do, and they go through our middle school program, and they do such a great job down there that when we get our hands on them, they've been in our system for now 3 years, and so that we don't really lose a lot of time with them, getting them readjusted.
Excited here at the spring game. I know it's a lot of fun. If you were able to see it, great. If not, I know you're enjoying the highlights here. But what can we expect? I know the new rules. Is that going to be different? Do you think we're going to be ready come fall?
I don't know. I can understand some of it, but some of the rules really concern me as far as being able to tackle every day, and but we'll adjust because it's the same rules for everybody.
Same rules for everybody. Coach, thank you so much for talking with us. I know you're excited to be here for another year at Catamount football.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We're talking with a couple defensive standouts from last year, rising seniors Jordan McKinney and Jake Myers with us. How's spring been going, guys?
It's been going well. It's been a lot of fun. We've had a few injuries, but it's been good for the most part.
Now, how about you, this being your last spring, have things changed over the years for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been hot every year, so that's something that we've had to deal with. But it's been fun, and I'm just enjoying everything just because it's last year.
Now, I know this fall we're going to be having some different rules when it comes to practices, as contact and all. Do you think that's going to make a difference?
Probably not. We got a good coaching staff, and they know what to do with it and how to, like, divvy that up, the hitting days and all that stuff, so it'll be fine.
Now, we've had a lot of graduating seniors on defense, but you do have a lot of guys that had PT, so not that concerned. You feel they're going to be stepping up this fall?
Yes, sir. I feel like the defensive line, we lost 3 starters, and we lost a linebacker and a cornerback. But I feel like, the guys who are filling in, they know what they're doing. They've got a handle on it.
So we're excited about that. Guys, I know you're getting ready to go. I'm going to keep you no more from your practices. Thank you much for joining us here, and go Big Red and having fun here on the spring Catamount football program. Coach, a lot of great things happening. We've talked with the coaches. We've seen some of the players. I know we can't wait till fall.
Well, it's just going to be a great time of Catamount football again. Once again, another great group of parents. Jerry Scott with our quarterback club, they just do an outstanding job as they do every year. You know, every year it gets picked up, and somehow they outdo the year before. So that puts a challenge out there for us as coaches and for our players to do better than we did last year.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Of course, one more Go Big Red, but you are watching the Catamount Football Spring Show.